It's really given way back to me more than I've given to it.
The best part of my job is the support groups. Participating in the foundation is a part of my life. I work and I have the foundation and home.
28 years ago, when we started the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, there was no information for the lay public, for patients, for their families. And I say no, very little. The internet didn't exist. And we had to educate people. That was our first mission. I mean, this started in my office with, a few bake sales and trying to raise money. And Deidre Buckley really is the one who got it off the ground.
The majority of the aneurysms we saw were ruptured. We didn't have the radiology technology that we have now. We quickly wrote booklets on treatment of aneurysms, as well as starting a support group. Initially, it was just all volunteers. I just didn't think we'd go really very far at all. It's the patients that always was my driving force. I'm not doing it for anyone else but them. We had paper booklets, we had no internet, we had nothing, for a while. We were going on our 10th year and we realized we needed to, to either dissolve it or, hire someone. When we had our first employee, which happened to be Christine, and she's just done a phenomenal job, really keeping us on track and expanding. I'm most proud of probably the support networks that we've been able to build throughout the country. We had the one group in Boston, and I remember one patient saying, who was also involved with the foundation, he'd love to see it in all 50 states. And I believe we're pretty close to that at this point in time. We are actually trying to work on now to have a registry available, throughout the states, throughout the countries, throughout the world, that would allow patients and family members to enter their own data and learn more about, the struggles people have in different parts of the country, that we kind of team together and come up with a better way for people to find these resources.
The other thing that I'm extremely proud of and was so pleased that it's functioned as well as it has is the research efforts and support for research. We've generated and given more money for support of basic and clinical research for specifically brain aneurysm. The other thing that I think is still unique in medicine is we have researchers doing research on brain aneurysms, meeting the individuals who generated the money for them to do the research. They sometimes have a photograph of a patient on their shelf in the laboratory as they work. They sometimes speak with the families throughout the year or years that they're doing the research. But what the Brain Aneurysm Foundation brings is a fabric of individuals that then can interact. And seeing the scientists and researchers interact with people who generate the money is something I've never seen in medicine. And it's incredibly gratifying. Brain Aneurysm Foundation has literally soared way higher than I ever could have expected. And I am so proud of the continued dissemination of good information and support. We now have a host of physicians from around the country involved with our medical advisory board.
We are the organization that provides the greatest funding for brain aneurysm research. A great staff that really promotes all the social media stuff. We've been able to put together tools for patients in regards to awareness and screening. We are working hard with this Ellie's Law.
Trying to get funding for brain aneurysm research separate from stroke research.
Being national, international is, a dream come true. I think we have a lot more work as far as including international groups of people. 1 in 50 people have a brain aneurysm. It can be any one of us. And I think you quickly learn that everyone knows someone who's had an aneurysm. One of the things that probably gets me most upset is the delay in diagnosis or the misdiagnosis. We've seen people go to their primary care, with a headache that they know is not normal and attribute it to stress, it's not sleeping, anxiety, and not doing a scan.
There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and that's why Day of Engagement is extremely important. It's to make people aware. There's research to be done, there's medical work to be done. There's also a lot of social and personal interaction work to be done. Support and dissemination of information to people with brain aneurysms. People are fine one day, and the next day their entire life is changed forever, as is their families. And that's hard to communicate to people.
Hopefully the Day of Engagement, we can get people to tell their story, make others know that, the foundation is there to support everyone, not just the people that have suffered a rupture, but people who may have an aneurysm and not even know about it.
We've got a host of new devices and new ways of delivering devices to patients that's going to be extremely exciting. The Brain Aneurysm Foundation is going to be interfaced in that development. They are able to bring information from industry and research to patients, and they're able to bring information from patients and needs of patients to industry and product development. The BAF has positioned itself extremely well to facilitate this process and accelerate it, not to impede it.
So I really hope people do get involved with the Day of Engagement. There's so much, probably more that could be done if we did have the money.